Every so often you have technologies that come along that rewrite the rules of the game. Yet we don't talk about it because it's costless to us.
It is a complete cultural change for the Air Force. Pretty soon we will have more unmanned than manned aircraft. It's almost surreal.
Come down to the ground. Thank you. Other aircraft, airspace, altitude.
All right, looks like we're by ourselves out here, 63 Bravo high, deadly 6.
This isn't a video game. This is a real airplane flying through real airspace. You need to be able to think through a three-dimensional problem that's located 7,500 miles away from you.
Room 10, Hood.
The biggest risk that we accept is that detachment from it. Real live weapons, doing a real mission. I try to ensure that people understand there are people who are counting on us to do the mission. You're no longer sitting at Creech Air Force Base. There's severe both military and political consequences if we fail. Get in that mindset. When you step into the GCS, you are in the fight.
In the morning when I come to work, I pray that God gives me strength, that He gives me wisdom. You're saving people's lives by employing weapons. That's the business that we're in.
There's always a possibility of making mistakes, right?
Right.
Do you ever worry about that? Do you think about that? How does...
Yeah. I mean, everybody worries about things. All you can do is you can make sure that you're prepared.
So you don't think you've ever hit someone you haven't intended to hit?
No. No. This is a very precise weapon where we're putting a laser down and pointing at a target, and the weapon follows the laser. So it's very precise, and it hits what we want it to hit.
And Viper from Deadly have a single individual on the roof on the north corner employing weapons at this time.
One time we had intel that there's a bad guy riding around on a motorcycle, if you will. And he's just riding around, and he stopped at 2 or 3 different playgrounds, and he's playing soccer with all of these kids, and he's living his life, and he's doing his normal everyday life. And then, sure enough, at the end of that ride, though, we found him at a meeting of bad people. And it ended up resulting in a strike, so you end up seeing what happens.
Deadly copies that. We got eyes on Delay 05 rifle, time of flight 15 seconds. That's 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good splash.
Going to war has meant the same thing for over 5,000 years. Going to war meant that you were going to a place where there was such danger that you might never come home again. You might never see your family again. Now compare that experience to that of a Predator drone pilot. You're sitting behind a computer screen, you're shooting missiles at enemy targets, you're killing enemy combatants, and then at the end of the day, you get back in your car, and 20 minutes later, you're at the dinner table talking to your kids about their homework.
Hey guys! Hi. I mean, they know I fly UAVs, but I don't necessarily go home and tell them that, what mission I flew or something like that. How was your day, buddy?
Good.
Yeah, that's a challenge in the job that you've got to do that day in and day out.
Went to recess.
We're finding that some of these units, these drone pilots, actually have combat stress and PTSD even, just like the units physically deployed into Iraq and Afghanistan. And it makes perfect sense when you pull back and think about it, because this disconnect of being at war and at home is very tough for the human mind to wrap itself around.